Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the Hennessy Explorer Deluxe hammock. This particular hammock is my one-man rig. It's a complete sleep system in a bag, basically. I've got everything that I need in this bag. Roughly measures 10 inches wide, 12 inches tall, and about 5 inches deep, although it does squish quite a bit. So it's quite compact. Now, as you can see down here, this model does weigh 3 pounds 2 ounces, plus the webbing straps for an extra 4.1 ounces. Now, I add a few climbing accessories just to make it easier to set up and a little bit more user-friendly. I weighed mine at just a hair over 4 pounds. So it's a great system, extremely comfortable. I really like this system, and I highly recommend it. Again, this model is the zippered model, and it's the Explorer Deluxe model. They do make several different versions of their hammocks. In particular, the classic model doesn't have a zippered closure. It has an entrance in the bottom, believe it or not, that kind of folds over itself and keeps you in, so you kind of go inside through the bottom part. I wasn't so keen on that. I've heard many stories of people getting birthed out in the middle of the night, and I prefer just a zippered closure. This particular model retails for $230 and well worth every penny. It does have an included tarp, as you can see, and it's just an excellent one-man system. This particular model is good for larger people. I'm a little bit on the tall side. I'm about 6'4", between 6'4" and 6'5". The standard models only fit up to a 6-foot person, and they've got a smaller weight. I believe they're around the 200-pound weight limit. This particular model is good for anybody up to 7 feet tall and 300 pounds, and that's why I chose it, just due to my height. Comes in this bag. All of the instructions printed on the back of the bag. It's a ripstop nylon, and like I said, I've fit everything inside here, including all the extra climbing gear and whatnot that I've added to the system. So now let's take a look at it in use. Alright folks, here's the Hennessy. Now I put it up without the tarp, just so you can see how the layout is, or how I like to do it. First of all, I'm using the tree huggers, as you can see, and I like to use a system like this, basically a carabiner with 2 rings. These are all climbing grade, and it just allows you to set up your tent quite a bit quicker. You don't have to use any knots, and it's all, self-tightening. Works like a charm. So I've got the snake skins. I recommend that if you buy a Hennessy hammock, you get the snake skins. They basically just make it really, really easy for you to put up and take down your tent. You don't have to do any folding. You just slide it over the whole works, and you're good to go. The bag. This is the Hennessy Explorer asymmetrical zippered. I prefer the zipper. There's the original Hennessy hammocks. You would actually enter in the bottom here, and I just prefer a zipper myself. But I use the bag to hold my shoes or whatnot after I get in. So here it is. It's lashed out. I just have it put in with tent pegs. This is all like a bungee connected to that tie out there. Of course, I've got the same system over on this side with the 2 rings and the carabiner. Really can't stress how nice this is, and it really doesn't take up a lot of extra weight. Anybody who's into climbing will know how little weight these pieces take, and you can just tug on this to tighten it up and adjust it. So inside it's fully enclosed. It's this one, like I said, is the zippered model, so it just unzips. You can use it as a seat in this fashion if you just take your bug net and flip it over, and then you can just kind of sit right here. It is asymmetrical, so it's not what most people think of when they think of a hammock. You actually sleep diagonally in this, so it's a lot flatter sleep. Inside you have a ridge line connected to a little bag for your odds and ends. You have to excuse the noise. I'm actually in a bit of a park and there's some guys quadding, so bear with me. So yeah, inside it's a very well laid out. There's some extra bungee clipped in there, and I just put a couple of carabiners, so if I want to hang my lantern or whatnot. This is great for, you know, your books, your keys, your whatever stuff. And yeah, it's pretty simple. It works really well, and it's extremely comfortable and lightweight. So what we're going to do now is put the tarp on and give you a shout and give you an idea of what it looks like with the tarp on it. All right, there it is with the included tarp, asymmetrical tarp tied over top. Show you how I've got that laid out. So all I've got is it is tied out and pegged down again. Very simple taut line hitch, adjustable taut line hitch, or sorry, quick release taut line. And it actually comes with this setup, minus the carabiner. So this attaches to your main line via a prusik knot. I added the carabiner because I found that this just doesn't hold good. I actually broke one of these. Just not very strong. Hopefully Hennessy's paying attention and will include a small, even if it's a non-climbing beaner. I just like to attach it so that it keeps your tarp relatively centered. Got the same thing over on that side. Just tied out, same way. It's going to be tough to see, but it is asymmetrical, so it is slightly longer from there to here. But that's because when you're sleeping, you're not sleeping in line with the ridge line, you're sleeping canted to it. Over here is where you can see a broken one. Actually, the first time I ever took this thing out. Broke that clip off. Okay, and that's really how it looks from the outside. So getting in, just come underneath. I already have it unzipped. Maybe we'll do a little shot of being inside. Now these trees that I have it hooked up to are relatively young, and it's in the spring, so there's lots of flex in them. So the outside tarp is going to loosen up because it's kind of attached to the ridge line. But that's generally how it looks. Very nice and cozy. and plenty of protection. You still have almost a little vestibule, as you can see here, and you can sit and put on your boots and do whatever it is you have to do. And that's how it's done with the Hennessy hammock.